Hey everyone. I was asking about the collective read for all the, obviously the collective conscious at large, and trying to tune into what everyone's sort of going through because that is something big, like huge that I notice wherever I worked or personally who I deal with. Um, Things that commonly pop up amongst friends and groups of people in passing, strangers, doesn't matter. Like when I hear it the first time, it'll keep resurfacing. My reticular activating system, which is the thing that works to filter out in your brain all of the not important stuff, like you want to buy a Toyota and now all of a sudden you see Toyotas everywhere on the road, right? That's your reticular activating system going at work. Your mind is like, oh, Toyotas are important to us right now. Um, and so, the other side to that is why all of a sudden do you start seeing things all the time, and why is it important? And maybe that's not for us to know, but it's our intuition talking to us, being like, "Hey, this is important. Like, pay attention, notice it." Um, I'm saying all that because I didn't know where to start with this reading that I pulled. It's pretty crazy. It's spread out here, but as I was reading it and working through it, I kind of started to see this story unfold, right? For all of us and what we're going through. Um, we're definitely going through some upgrades, but where I think, you know, we're going through it with our friends, which, a lot of people, like the old story or the old, I don't want to say the old story, but the common story that we've always heard is how lonely people are, and it was a big problem that was especially highlighted during COVID and the pandemic 2020, um, and so I think as a collective we started to combat that because once it was realized and spoken out that there was such an issue with loneliness and feeling isolated, then it started to like balance back up and push back up, and we started putting things in place to help solve the loneliness, or like such as bringing community back, whether that's through games or Xbox Live or in-person communities, painting, art nights, things like that. Especially here in St. Pete. Oh my gosh, like we have one of the strongest communities I've ever seen. Um, but I think this is starting to pop up, across the globe. I think when the times get hard like that, there's this saying: when the going gets weird, the weird go pro. That's what it is. When the when the going gets weird, the weird go pro, and that's to say, like, it's true. When the going got lonely, the lonely came together and made communities, and they started, appealing from the heart space, the heart place. And so with this reading, the first two cards that came out were the Three of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. And that to me is richness and friendship. It's abundance of friendship, and joyous times, and making memories, and really feeling like love and satisfaction from the people around you. And then right below that we got the Five of Cups in reverse with the Queen of Wands. Like, that's overcoming loneliness, that's overcoming sadness and grief and, just stark. Well, first of all, fives are all about change and transition, and it's in the reverse. So it's like where we once felt sadness and a hole and like loneliness, or numbness, or just like things either didn't matter or wouldn't end, or it just was like this like sameness all the time, but maybe feeling like a plateau. But with the Queen of Wands, it's like this like, ooh, she can't even stay in my hands. She's like, look at her. She's got fiery red hair. She is Wands family, which is the suit of fire. It's warmth, it's joy, it's love and courageousness, braveness, big solar plexus energy, and like confidence, independence, like seizing the day. That's like big wand energy. And she's wearing blue, which to me is all about not being afraid to communicate and speak their truth. And so with this energy coming into our lives, it's this like this fun, spontaneous energy of like, I have energy again. Like, let's go out. Let's get into trouble. Not really trouble. You know, like let's go out in the town. Let's see what the world has to offer. Let's be adventurous. And so I see that happening because we have people by our sides. We have community. We have, you know, it's almost like we're not in this alone anymore, and so we're not afraid to go out and conquer our dreams, right? The wands is our spiritual energy too. It's our tantric, it's our kundalini prana, you know. And so with the Queen of Wands being out here, it's almost like I think fresh perspectives and higher perspectives are infiltrating. It's like that's what I mean by the big upgrades. And then if we get into astrology, I know it's a lot of cards, but I pulled these four, and it's literally. Oh, this part is crazy too, by the way, because I went and checked today's transit, but I'll get to that. So we have Neptune, solar flares, 6th house, trine, sextile. What that means is the word underneath it is vision, activates, sustainability, symbiosis. And so the way that I read that was Neptune is activating the 6th house, and it's a symbiotic relationship. And I was like, just out of curiosity, I wonder today what the transit is of the planets. Dude, I go in to check the transits. Neptune is literally in the 6th house. So it's literally Pisces and Virgo energy. So the 6th house rules Virgo, and Neptune is the traditional ruler of Pisces. And so you have this Neptune, big, psychic, slow, like, just think of like all the liquids, how they just like the way they move, and it's psychic energy, it's intuition, it's very flowy nature, right? It's also like not. It's also like too much of it is like the psych wards, and you know, kind of going crazy, having visions, things like that. Not that visions are crazy, but it is psychic in nature. And then the 6th house is this grounded, like, physical body, like your habits, your discipline, like what does your structure look like, what does your routine look like. And so this together, I really see it's like, what does your ceremonial, ritualistic habits look like, right? Like what kind of are you keeping track of your daily habits? Or do you have a habit tracker? Do you you know, what routine do you have for self-care and love and in connecting with yourself? Because funny enough, the other two tarot cards that came out was the High Priestess. Like, this is the psychic card. This is like, okay, you want the answer? The answer is within you. And then we also have the Two of Cups, which is traditionally, it's the, when this card comes up, I think of like a relationship. It's new love. It's new love that in emotions that have come together to be a relationship. But with the High Priestess and the astrology cards that came out, dude, this is a big, like, coming together with self reading. Like, we are finally, like, the two become one, right? It's that, like, collapsing of timelines. It's the alignment and finally trusting ourselves and stepping into that place of, like, you know, there's been a lot of unseen work going on. There's been a lot of shadow work. There's been a lot of, like, parts of ourselves that maybe we haven't seen or sent love to in a very long time. And with the Neptune in the 6th house, I think there's going to be this, like, renew also. But while I speak of renew, we have in this one, it's the Knave of Chalices, which would typically be the Page of Cups. And then we have the Knight of Swords. Dude, this is, like, commitment to, like, like an idea or a project or, like, a certain, like, thought process. Like, no, I know this is a good idea. I know this is a good idea. Like, I just know it, and I have trusting the process. Like, I have faith that, like, I'm so gung-ho on this way, right? He's on, like, the sword is on a, sorry, then the fucking, what is he, little knight. The knight is on a horse. It's a white horse. It's supposed to be, like, purity. So it's, like, purity and thought. It's like, out to conquer. He's, like, in action, like, is legit in the middle of taking a step, right? But he's, like, not in a rush either. He's just, like, poised, right? Sitting confidently atop his naval trusty steed, just going. But, like, it's this confident walk, like, pace, like, I know I'm gonna kick some ass. I know that I'm gonna be doing exactly what I need to do. I'm taking one foot, stepping in front of the other. And then when we have this fucking, what is he, a knave? That's kind of like a peasant, but a knave of cups, right? This is like, oh my god, this is a renewal. This is a fresh perspective. This is that, like, I am in love with life again. Like, light feeling. Like, he literally has a cup on his sleeve, like wearing a heart on your sleeve. Like, he's offering the chalice, the cup. Like, here it is. Like, it's for whoever. But it's just like puppy dog, you know, in high school when you haven't been in love yet, and you fall in love, and it's that, like, okay, I haven't felt heartbreak yet, so, and that first heartbreak was probably the hardest one that you will ever go through. Probably. In terms of, it's the deepest pain you felt, that first love. But a healing and a renewal has taken place that is putting us in that heart space. Look at how much green is at his feet. He's standing, and he's got, oh, and it's like a ledge too, so there's like absolute trust that he's just chilling by the ledge. He's not afraid to fall off. And the green is the heart place. The red is root. He got one red foot, so it's to symbolize like purity and rootedness. So it's like just having absolute, and the whitish yellowish leg is taking the step out onto the ledge, and that is like letting intuition guide, like letting spirit guide you, but then having that rooted red foot that's like keeping you grounded in your emotions, in your path, not getting too like whoop, drift away. But that's a big portion of what I'm seeing. And we also got a mermaid card, vulnerability. So yeah, I see us becoming very vulnerable and raw, and attracting friends and groups of people that are also in that heart space, that are also willing and ready to commit their fullest selves forward. And because we have met ourselves just as deeply. Oh my gosh, so as if the Three of Cups also wasn't enough, I'm telling you, this reading is very synchronistic. We have friendship. And this one's interesting because it's literally her looking into a mirror and seeing a reflection, right? And they always say, you know, everybody's a reflection of yourself, right? Friends are a reflection of the things that we love, that we have accepted, that we love within ourselves and cherish. And so therefore, wow, another person that also has these qualities that I love about myself, great, sign me the fuck up. Enemies happen, or, you know, enemies, frenemies, people that we don't enjoy, people that trigger us or annoy us, parents, siblings, you know, the guy on the street that, I don't know, like, he's yelling and screaming and saying, like, bigotry things, and you're just like, what the fuck? And then, but all of these people have qualities within you that you just have not come to terms with yet, and that's why it irritates you or irks you or sends you off, you know, the deep end. Especially family. If you think about it, you know, they're the ones that we get our foundations from. They're the ones that like form the way we see the world, the way we think about the world, why we think about the world, the way our emotions are, you know, the karma we inherit. All of that, right, is parents. And so when we see them acting up or acting a fool or being themselves, and you're just like, oh my god, like, it drives me fucking insane. Think about it. They're part of your foundation. They're part of yourself that you have not accepted yet. Believe me, I get it. It's funny too because I'll see myself getting boiled up with my family, and I'm like, I do that same shit. Like, I literally am seeing a part of myself right now, but the part of me that I have not come to love yet, boom, all packaged up in like a family figure. Ah, man, that is the work though. Everybody's an archetype in your life, and you are all the archetypes, whether it's Pisces or the 13 moons law of time, fucking white dog or whatever, or mermaids, whatever dimension, whatever, you're all of it. And I really see us stepping into that ownership time of like this is our power, this is who we are. It's that Queen of Wands energy. You know, I think this is where we're being really upgraded and up leveled to, is knowing our truth and no longer needing, the high priestess is like the alchemist card of like, you have all the answers within you. You will always pay every time you have to seek outside of yourself just to be validated and confirmed. Think of how many of you have read tarot for, and you're at the end, sometimes you're like, man, I knew that, like I've been saying that, or that's what I've been feeling, but you still had to pay me to tell you what you already knew. I didn't tell you anything that you didn't already know, but you doubted yourself, so therefore, which is fine, it's fun, you know. I we're all here, we're human at the end of the day, right? And this is what we're here to remember. And sometimes it takes a lot of lessons to remember that, but that's okay. Life, this world, is a training ground, it's a playground, so have fun. um, you know, I think we're stepping into a really creative and fun time in our lives, and it's been a shit show over the last seasons, but I really do see a lot of opportunities, prosperities, and fun things lying ahead. I mean, we got the Ten of Pentacles. Come on. Ten of Pentacles is... it's one of the best cards you can get. One of the best cards. And to share with your friends. Come on. It's getting amazing. And that's only because we're here doing the work within ourselves so that we can see the world, project our image on the world as a better place. And then, wow, look at that. The vision, right? Neptune, expanding the 6th house of service. So service and sustainability, we're making a more sustainable ecosystem for ourselves. One that is not off, one that is like balance of fun and work. Work hard, play hard. You know, it's that concept of, is this a self-sustaining ecosystem, or is there going to be coasters of burnouts and cycles? And you know, that's what we're here to try and balance and figure out. So be like water, adapt to your environment. This is what our 6th house is being called to do. Like, how can we adapt our environment, our routine, our routines, our cyclical nature? How can we look into that and program it a little bit differently? So, I mean, there was a lot of messages. You know, well, just 17:22 on the clock, time lies, so that's my number. But yeah, all right. Well, this was the collective reading for where I see us going. And join my newsletter if you haven't already. Tarot's Tuesday. I'll put a link to that in the description box. But cool. All right. Peace. Love y'all.